Hey everybody, we are back, the Hurricane HQ, with our 2 p.m. tropical update for July 25th, 2020. And today's news is Tropical Storm Hannah becomes a hurricane, which was very unexpected, but it has, and it's forecast to hit Texas as a Category 1 hurricane. Sorry everybody that I couldn't get a video in yesterday. I was just very busy with the channel and everything like that. But we're here today for our next update. Sorry about that. So here's our NOAA forecast area. Here's the storms. Gonzalo, I'm very sorry. Since 1 minute ago, it has become a tropical depression. And I'm not kidding, at 1:59, it was a tropical storm on this map, and maximum sustained winds is 30 knots or 35 miles per hour, and minimum central pressure is 1010 MB, moving west at 17 knots or 20 miles an hour. Now it's moving quite fast, and it's just going to die out. Over here is Hannah. This is the Hurricane Hannah. Sorry about that. And over here is a really interesting area. We have to watch this. Yes, it's only a 20% chance now, but in the next 5 days, 70% chance of developing. And this will be probably our next hurricane to major hurricane. I know we all say Gonzalo would be, but let's just say unexpected things happen for Gonzalo. First, we're going to go into our immediate threat, Hannah. For everybody who lives in Texas and Louisiana, this forecast is for you and anyone who wants to learn about it. So here is Hurricane Hannah's forecast. As you can see, it is just east of South Texas. Hurricane warnings are up. And tropical storm. Never mind. Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry. Current wind extent is tropical storm past the warnings area. And warnings in the blue area is tropical storm warnings are currently in effect. Yes. It is quite interesting over here. This is a very active area. As you can see, it will hit Mexico probably as a hurricane. And then it'll, as it gets past that border, it will affect it as a tropical storm into a depression. And it might actually get into the Atlantic Ocean. Pacific Ocean, sorry about that. And form into a new threat to Hawaiian Islands and even Polynesia, all the islands over there. So let's take a look at our wind speed probabilities. As you can see, we have very high amounts, 90% chance of tropical storm force winds in this entire area. And that really does extend even into Mexico. There's an 80 to 90% chance of tropical storm force winds. So this is very rough. Let's go into 50 knot wind speed probability. There's a 90% chance here, and even in parts of southeast Texas, you can get some 50 knot wind speeds in the next 5 days. Hurricane wind speed probability here, it's only about 40% chance. It is a hurricane, yes, but on the ground, we're not going to see as strong winds. Let's take a look at our wind history. As you can see, hurricane force winds over here to tropical storm all the way over here. You can see the first tropical storm force winds have been reaching parts of southeast Texas. And, sorry, I skipped this, but let's go to our arrival times of winds. And this is the earliest reasonable. And you can see Saturday 2 p.m., which is like 5 minutes ago. And over here, Saturday 8 p.m. So this is going to be a very fast mover in this little area. Or I shouldn't say fast mover, it's just going to be slow, but this is its normal speed. Here's the most likely arrival of winds. And Saturday, 2 p.m. Yes, we're getting those winds right now. This is live wind speeds. Saturday, 8 p.m. over here. And Sunday, 2 a.m. to 8 a.m., you'll be getting all the way over to here in Mexico. And these are tropical storm force winds. Here's our 5-day widespread wind speed probabilities like we showed. This might be a little bit easier for you guys to read, but it's almost guaranteed in this area. 90 to 100% chance over here. Now we're going to take a look at our warnings and surface winds. As you can see, tropical storm warnings up here to Boca Chica, Spaceport area, even north. But over here, central, south Texas, along the coast, hurricane warnings are currently issued. So if you live in that area, expect a lot. And you're probably, if you do live in that area, you probably wouldn't be watching this. You'd probably be watching any other TV channel or anything. But in the unlikely event that you're watching this at this quite interesting moments, thanks for watching, and we'll continue to show great information. So here's our peak storm surge amounts. As you can see over here, 3 to 5 feet. And that is very, very high. If you want to visualize that, grab a ruler or a yardstick. Grab a yardstick, 3 feet, that's how high a yardstick is. You knew that, but that's how high water would be. Add 2 more feet, 2 yardsticks, cut 1 foot off, 5 feet. That's like as high as most people. Well, that will at least get to your neck, most likely. So these are really quite high, especially over here, 2 to 4, all the way up Texas. This is going to be quite big for storm surge. U.S. rainfall potential, as you can see over here, we can actually get 10 inches of rain. So I say storm active probably 10 to 12 inches. And that is crazy. Imagine 5-foot storm surge, add 1 more foot to that, 2 yardsticks on top of each other. That should get above most people. And that can be life-threatening because that could flood most first floor buildings. So over here you have 2 to 4 inches, 4 to 6 in the yellow, orange 6 to 10, and in the red 10 to, I would say, 12. Let's head over here to flash flooding potential. Down here we have a very high risk of flash flooding, a 50% chance. Over here 20%, up here 10%, and up here 5%. And this is over the next 3 days. Although these numbers can definitely change. Up here we have our 3 days. This one looks very close to today. Here's tomorrow. Here's Sunday morning. Here's Monday morning, and here's Tuesday morning. When you get into Tuesday, it's not going to be as bad, but expect a lot of rain. Here's our storm surge induction. Wow, this is quite an interesting map. This is, I believe, is quite new. This is the storm surge amount. This is the amount of storm surge. Red is above 9 feet. Yellow is above 3 feet. And orange is above 6 feet. We're seeing a lot of yellow and blue. Blue is greater than 1 foot. So we can see high amounts of storm surge, especially on the beaches. That's quite, I would say, very, very high. 3 feet along the shore. If your house is for some reason on the beach, you might want to worry about that. Yep. Let's see if we can get any higher than that. As we go down, you can see there's a lot more storm surge in this area possible. Oh, good. Sorry about that, everybody. Whoa, the mic just glitched right there. Sorry about that. But as you can see, some heavy storm surge, even quite far inland. If you're along the shore, expect some storm surge. Let's head back to our other maps. Sorry about that. This took a little while. Now let's head over to our windy wind gusts. Let's come over here. And this is incredible because this is, here's windy. This is incredible. These are quite strong winds. As you can see here, we have 52 mile per hour winds, 51, 54, 51, and these are only at ground level. So above ground, wind speeds will increase. That's how it's considered a hurricane force. That's how there is hurricane force winds right now. But right now, these winds, this is live. These winds should be battering the coast right now. If you're in Port Arkansas, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. But anywhere over here, Rockport, Bayside, Portland, all over here, anywhere on the coast, you're in for a lot of winds. I'm going to give like a highest winds on the ground is right now, I would say 55 miles an hour. I always expect that if you're over there. Let's head over to our wind gusts. And these are getting real high. Let's take a look. This is ground level, 66 mile an hour wind gusts. And that's battering the coast over here, 65. And this is only at ground level again. So you are seeing very strong winds down here, very strong wind gusts. If you live over here, expect a lot of wind. And 60 gusts, 67, that is enough to take trees out of the ground, because once the ground it has all that rain, all that water in it, it becomes very weak. The trees, they can get uprooted very easily with wind. And with wind speeds like this, they are quite strong. I've seen thunderstorms with 50 mile an hour gusts that can destroy a lot of trees. It really depends how much rain falls and how much wind there is. Even inland, you could get 43 mile an hour wind gusts. Over here, a little bit north, 36. Even inland, you are in those very strong gusts. So even if you're inland, don't say, oh, I'm not going to worry about this, because these can really get in it strong. San Antonio over here, 41 mile an hour wind gusts. And if you're on the southern side or southeast, you can get even stronger winds. Let's take a look over here. See, Houston, land of a lot, 31 mile per hour wind gusts. And these are real strong. Don't underestimate the wind gusts, because these are the things that blow down those trees. On the news, everywhere you hear that. And we can see really great circulation. 74 mile an hour wind gusts right now. This is live. 80 mile an hour wind gusts. This is very high. We'll be right back. Sorry, I just need to drink some water. We will be right back. Hey everybody, sorry about that. I just had to. I'll be right. Sorry about that. I'm back. Let's head right back into that. As you can see, we have 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts over here. Very, very strong. Don't underestimate this storm in any way. Let's head over back to wind. Let's look at the wind inland. Houston, you're getting 17-mile-an-hour winds. You're not getting the biggest, strongest of the winds, but anywhere on shore over here, you're going to get quite strong winds. Gusts, though, quite far inland, you can get quite strong ones. Houston, 33. And look at this rotation over here. This is very, very strong. Other things like invest, these things are really, really strong. You can really see that rotation on here. It's really affecting all the way out here. It's a very interesting swirl. So this thing's really a disturbance in the normal wind pattern. Let's head to our future cast thing. As this thing moves inland, sorry about that, a little too fast. It will affect the coast over here. Anyone down here, more South Texas, but you're going to get real strong winds. So don't say, even if you're slightly inland, you're going to get strong winds. This entire area by Saturday, 12 a.m., you're going to get those 50-mile-an-hour winds there. And let's look at gusts now. You're going to get those 76-mile-an-hour gusts. Those things will take down a lot of trees, everybody. So if you're over here, be aware that that's very strong. We're going to reach into Sunday, 7 a.m., the very morning, and it's almost like it's strengthened. Gusts can reach up to 90 miles an hour. 90. I know I'm supposed to be using this, I'm used to using knots, but I like miles per hour a little bit better. It's a little easier, especially when it's over land, but if you're anywhere in the coast, even if you're not on the coast, expect 92-mile-an-hour gusts by tomorrow, 8 a.m. I would say 95 is the top, but I don't think it's too hard to get those 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Since you're already up there, expect really strong winds. Yeah, let's just keep going. 4 p.m. Let's go to 10 a.m. And alright, this is where we'll see those 103-mile-per-hour gusts. And yeah, in Mexico over here, even if you're in Mexico, if you speak English and you're watching this, in Mexico, I believe these are on top of these mountains. But if you're in this town over here, expect real strong winds, and right here it looks like there's a town. I'm not familiar with this landscape, but we can get to 100 mile an hour real easy if it's 99. So if you live over here, expect some real strong winds, and right here, 103. So I'm going to say it's very strong. It's not weakening. Here's regular wind speeds. 46. So I would say 50 around there, but gusts are really powerful. Let's continue. Still some real strong, but here's where we see some weakening. Yep. So it's possible to get like 100 mile an hour winds. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to click on that. This is where we'll see this 100 mile an hour wind start to deplete as it moves into Mexico. Regular winds, this is really starting to slow down. It's really trying to weaken. And there's a town called China. 26. I would say like this is where it become a tropical depression. Right around here. Because you can see that rotation is really starting to weaken there. It looks just less like a spinning circle and more like a mess. It's like winds coming from 3 different directions almost. Or even 4, depending on how you look at it. That's when it starts to weaken. And if we go into Monday, or Sunday 11 p.m., starts to weaken still. Monday 2 a.m., we're going to skip all the way to Monday 6 p.m., and we lost the storm, mostly. Now you can just, it's barely anything. Here's the eye. You can still see some rotation, but max wind speeds of 20. Let's look at the gusts. Possibly 40. 40 is a max, but this is where it really starts to slow down, everybody. And let's go into Tuesday, 1 a.m. It's really starting to weaken here. Go back to gusts. Still, you can still get some real strong winds over here. 45-mile-an-hour winds, 43. But these are higher terrain. Now, they're getting into the mountain areas, so they're probably a little higher. Let's skip to Tuesday, 5 p.m. And we almost just lost the storm. I actually can't find it. It's weakened substantially. Sorry about that, everybody. Oops. It's very weakened. I can't even see it. Let's see if we can find it. Alright, this is the eye. Sunday, 10 a.m. This is really weak. Really weak. Wind gusts. You can't even see the eye anymore. It's so weak. This you can just pass for standard winds. Probably only 33-mile-an-hour winds. Max. Let's go into Wednesday. These things go to 3 mile an hour. Over here, it looks like there's a storm. Although right here, it's 0. I wonder what happened to it. It looks like it's somewhere over here. We lost the rotation, everybody. My prediction is that it'll somehow come out here and form into something. But I'm not seeing any really disturbance. So I wouldn't really worry about it forming any longer. Unless this is it. I see some circulation here on Saturday, August 1st. I believe we found it, everybody. We found our storm. So this is the rotation. This is the rotation. It's very weak, but it looks like it possibly could develop into something. Because we're seeing some strengthening. Alright, well, I'm not going to hold everybody up. There's just several disturbances over here. We're going to skip right over to... What the... Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that, everybody. Alright, here's our map page. As you can see, here's our map. You can see the storm has a quite high chance. Now that we covered that up, let's head over to Gonzalo. Sorry, it's a mess still. Let's head over to Gonzalo. And there's not much to look at here. Here's the warnings cone. It's just going to die off before it even gets over to the northmost part of South America. It's just going to die off really quickly. By 8 a.m. Sunday, it'll just be dead. I usually don't talk to storms about like that, but 3-day and full forecast is the exact same. Because there is only 3 days, most likely. So. Arrival times of winds is useless because there's not going to be winds. But we can take a look at it anyway. Very, very weak. Are you guys over here into anything? Don't worry about anything because you're going to live. I usually don't talk like this about storms, but it's going to be very weak. Unless it somehow grew over here. But it's most likely just going to die off. And now we're going to jump right into something that I've been tracking since this morning. This is, I believe, Invest 92L. And right now it has a 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours. And a 70% chance of developing in the next 5 days. That is very big to watch. Hannah, we've already went through. Gonzalo's going to die up before it even hits this point. This has a chance to be major. And I mean, this has a real chance. It has the perfect lineup to be major. It could affect the Bahamas, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, West Indies. It could affect all of these places as a major hurricane, possibly. And this could be major. I usually don't say everything's going to be major, but this might not just be a hurricane. This might be our first major hurricane. And this might break some type of record. It might become our earliest 9th named storm, I believe. But this could be major. And let's stop. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Let's get into our 5-day graphical outlook. And this is our storm. As you can see, it's going to head this way. It's no longer going to head into the Gulf. It's most likely going to head up here to affect Puerto Rico, West Indies, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Bahamas, Florida, possibly Georgia, possibly the Carolinas, and possibly the Northeast if it becomes that kind of storm. We know the most popular tracks around this time is going right into the Gulf, which most has, and another one to go right up the coast. We've actually seen one called Tropical Storm Faye that actually formed here, right off the coast of North Carolina, and went right through the Northeast. And that is quite an interesting formation. It's amazing how it formed so quickly as a tropical storm, just like Hannah. These tropical entities are just becoming more and more intense. They can grow faster. I think this is possibly from climate change, but I'm not sure. It could be caused by anything. I don't know. If you have been realizing that, you can comment that down below if you'd like. Whoa, I almost dropped the mic again. Sorry. So as we can see, this one's going to head right into Gonzalo, but Gonzalo will be over here by now. Around here. If it's not, this thing could just swallow it up. But most likely Gonzalo will be out of here because it's speeding up. 20 miles per hour. Used to be very slow. Now it's going to speed up a little bit because it's weakening. Usually when things speed up, they are weakening, but that's not always the case, so don't always say, like, hey, look, there's a Category 5 hurricane about 500 miles away from my state. What do I do? Oh, well, it's starting to speed up, so it must be weakening. That's not always the case. It may strengthen still. It just depends. But as you can see, this is as of 2 p.m. We can refresh. But I believe that's when the Hurricane Hunter went out. I'm not totally sure. Actually, probably not because Hurricane... Alright, well, this is as of 2 p.m. 70% chance of developing. If you are along these islands, even along the East Coast, you have to watch this because this could be major. Again, this could be our next major hurricane. This could even be a Cat 5. Could it hit the Gulf? Yes, but it's probably going to continue on its path this way. Exactly where the mouse is going is where it's continuing to go. It'll probably hit around Florida, probably hit all the Bahamas, Dominican Republic, Cuba. It might either go through Florida or brush it and then head like the others this year, right through the Northeast up to Canada area and then head out. Why am I saying this could be major? Well, because it can be, and yeah, that's a horrible explanation, but it can be, and it has great chances of being it. Oh, I forgot to bring up the spaghetti models. As you can see, the storm will most likely head right through Texas into Mexico, and some even show it heading out into the Pacific to become a new entity, kind of like our map showed before. Sorry, I forgot to show these, but here's another model. As you can see, same kind of thing. And here we show rapid sorry about that, rapid decline in strength. Again, in the country, not much of a severe threat other than this area. As you can see, there's a slight risk of severe thunderstorms because there's a massive storm about to hit Texas. But other than that, not much, and this is probably a scam. Sorry, this video is a little bit of a mess, but I've been rushing to make this. Alright, here's all of our maps for this storm. And this is what I'm saying could be major. Here's our spaghetti models. Most of them show it heading right up the coast, like I was saying. They only end because that's how much time. They most likely won't end. A lot of them end early. It will most likely continue in the warm waters, as you can see. And this is how... Oh, come on. Alright, let's continue. Alright, here's our intensity guidance model. This is how it could be major. Most of them show it going past Category 2. And this can definitely change. This can change. Most hurricanes start out like this. And this can be major. It can reach Category 3 status. It's very early to see. But I give it high chances of reaching Cat 3 major status. Let's look at our spaghetti model. That was kind of late. Here's our global one. As you can see, most show it heading up here. This is very short. Sorry about that. I'm not doing this as I usually do. Alright, here's our GFS model. As you can see, it just moves up. It even gets below 1000 MB, which is quite strong. GFS showing it actually go right into Florida, although I think that's kind of unlikely. I think it will somehow curve. Storms don't usually go right into it, but they're showing a massive strength, 970 millibar, something like that. Megabar, sorry. I'm not acting like myself, everybody. This is the Canadian model. It's a mess. And most of it just shows it dying here, which is highly unlikely. But this one actually shows it coming up to the northeast like this. I don't know why it just stops. It's quite strong up there, but that's quite close to the Jersey Shore, Connecticut, and it could even brush Massachusetts, so might be in for quite a large storm. And what is this thing? This thing keeps happening. I don't know how to explain that. All right, let's head back to our forecasts. Well, as you could see, it's most likely to head up the northeast. The spaghetti models are very strange right now, but I'm sure we can all say that's most likely going to head up there. Alright, here's our forecast for this Tropical Storm Gonzalo, which is now Tropical Depression Gonzalo. Same maps, but spaghetti models just show it mostly dying over here, except a few reach out. And our guidance here just shows it really heading up. One of them even shows it heading back to Cat 1 status, although most show it heading down to Tropical Depression status. So I would say it's going to head down because even the official cone shows it heading quite down. And not literally, but it's quite interesting. Let's see how much time we have. Alright, 35 minutes. I don't want to make this video way too long, but I want to get a lot of good stuff in. So this thing, I think we should watch, but I don't think we should be crazy about this. It has a 70% chance of developing, and no, those storms are still there. I just focused on this storm. Now, let's take a look if we can. Alright, we should take a look at the Hurricane Douglas, because that actually might affect Hawaii. And I usually don't cover this area, but I want to put it in because I think they deserve this kind of forecast. I think they deserve, because this is quite a big storm. As you can see, it's going to continue to be a hurricane until it hits the Hawaiian Islands. I believe this is Maui, the Big Islands, Oahu, and Kauai. We have a tropical storm watch for Kauai over here. Oahu, Hawaii, the Big Islands, and Maui are all in a tropical storm warning. And the 3 islands here are also in a hurricane watch. So a hurricane warning could be issued possibly for these islands, but it most likely won't be as strong as originally thought. It's also going to speed up over time, but we'll keep to this day. And here's a closer look. Kauai is in a tropical storm watch. I believe I said that. And current wind extent over here is tropical storm status, not hurricane, except in this very small area. So there is hurricane wind extent, but not too bad. Here's our wind speed probabilities. Hawaii, you're in for 70% chance to, I would say, 40% chance for all the islands that you'll get some tropical storm force winds. Let's head to hurricane wind speed. And it's not really, none of Hawaii is going to get that so far, but this is only what they see could change. 50 knot wind speed probability. Hawaii, you have a mostly 5 to 20% chance of that. 50 knot. Arrival times of winds. Hawaii, you'll be getting it from Saturday 8 p.m. to probably Sunday 8 p.m. It's when most of it, it's a very fast mover. You'll all get it in like the same day mostly. Those, I believe, tropical storm force winds. Here's most likely. Some show it from Saturday to Sunday, you'll get those winds. So today you might start to get those winds. Possibly. So, yeah. But earliest reasonable is still quite accurate for that kind of thing. They're always very close, is what I should say. Let's head back to... What is this? What is this? I don't know what this is. Why does it show the old Windows 7 style thing? This looks like some kind of virus or something. I'm not going to install this for obvious reasons, but this is definitely not an idea. How do I get out of this? I'm so sorry for that. I'm also so sorry I was trying to rush in this video. Here is, I forgot to show you this. Here's our current radar. As you can see, outer rain bands starting to hit. The eye hasn't touched it yet, but probably next hour or two, we'll be getting the our eye right onto the shore. I don't see any extreme wind warnings anywhere, but severe thunderstorm could pop up soon. Flash flood can also. Tornado. All of these. Just extreme wind. Probably a little bit later when those wind speeds pick up. And I'm still not gonna. I'm not gonna get this. Oh my gosh. No, I don't want this. No. What is going on? It says it's... Wait, no. I'm not doing that. Get out of here. I'm not clicking yes on anything. No. Let me out of this. Alright, this is very creepy. I don't know what's going on there. Let's just try and use the page one more time. Let's take a look at our severe weather right now. Around the country, as you can see, mostly just thunderstorms around, maybe some marginal to slight risk up here. And of course over here there's a marginal to slight risk because obviously there's a hurricane about to hit. But other than that, the country's mostly good, especially this west coast. There's not much going on. East coast, some stuff, but overall I think it's quite good. And it seems like that thing is gone. Alright, also comment below, do you think this Invest 92L will develop? And if it does, do you think it'll get to major hurricane status? And I'll pick one comment in a future video. So if it develops, you'll get a shout out. So you might want to comment below. On what you think. Alright, well, we'll just take one more look at our forecast. So currently we have a Hurricane Hannah that's currently affecting Texas. As you can see on the warnings cone, it's currently a hurricane and will affect the coast. There's hurricane warnings are up, tropical storm warnings are up, and current wind extent over here, you're getting tropical storm winds, and in the very center, you can see hurricane force winds. To see more on this, head to the very beginning of our video to see more. First, show everybody this. Tornado watch summary. Sorry about that. I thought that was for the storm. Sorry about that. If you would like to see more on the storm, check back later, but I'm just going to go over the basics. Wind speed probability. It's almost guaranteed over here. 90 to 100% for tropical storm force winds. Hurricane wind speed. Very low chances. Possibly only a 40% chance. So I wouldn't really worry about the hurricane force, but 50 knot winds. High chances on the very southeast coast. Here's our arrival times of winds, and we're mostly going to get it today for our most likely, but our most likely we'll start getting it tomorrow too, so whatever you think is more accurate most likely or earliest reasonable, you can use those. Our peak storm surge is 4 to 6 feet. I think that was actually increased because earlier it said 4 to 5 feet. So now you can get 4 to 6 feet. 6 feet is basically 2 rulers on top of each other. And, I meant not 2 rulers, 2 yardsticks on top of each other. Quite high. That's almost as high as like the average person. And that will most likely flood the first floor of buildings. If you're in this area, expect evacuation, especially in central area. North, I wouldn't say it's that bad, only 1 to 2 feet. Same with down here, 1 to 3 feet. But if you're over here, from, I would say here, all the way down to here, yeah, that could be quite a big thing. And add on top, 10 to 12 inches of rain in South Texas area, Boca Chica, this whole area. And over here, you can see 4 to 2 inches. Orange, 6 to 10 inches. So imagine 6 feet of storm surge plus another foot of rain. That could be quite serious, and if you're in this area, you might have to get evacuated. Make sure you listen to the radio and see if they ask your area to evacuate. Here's our current flash flooding risk. Down here, 50%, very high. Here, 20%, which is moderate. Over here, we have a 10%, which is slight. And here, a 5%, which is a marginal risk. Now let's take a look real here. All right. Sorry about this. Sorry. And now we're going to take a look at our tropical storm, which is now tropical depression Gonzalo. Again, here's our cone. It's most likely going to die off. And we can take a look here. As you can see, it's mostly just going to die off. Most of the models died off here, except like 2 come out. This was the world one. Here's GFS. Most of them also die off. And it's going to stay above 1000 MB. Canadian model shows it continuing and hitting Texas. Although I think Canadian model is a little less accurate, even though it's all together. It's usually Canadian model is only used rarely. And intensity guidance, not going to really intensify, only a little chance of it going back to a tropical storm. Do I think it's going to get to a Cat 1? No. I think that's probably only the Canadian model will probably show that. And now we're going to take a look at our area to watch. And this really does have potential to be serious. And usually I don't say these things can be major so easily, but this could be major, and I'm not going to repeat that 100 times like most people do. Over here we have our, whoops, let me refresh the page. 20% chance for cyclone formation next 48 hours, and a 70% chance in the next 5 days. So this is very high risk of forming. Now why I think this could be major is it's in a key spot to develop. This area is a key spot to develop. Gonzalo almost had it, but it chose to go the wrong way, with wind shear and a lot of things working against it. I don't think it was wise for Gonzalo to pick that path, but this one has potential. What its most likely path would be is heading up through the West Indies, past Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, scraping Cuba, the Bahamas, scraping Florida. Now what it could do is you could either head through Florida or head around Florida like this and affect the northeast, southeast. So the entire East Coast is in danger here. Even this part of the Gulf, you could be in danger. This thing is very unpredictable. It can do anything it wants by now. There's a lot of things it could do. Whatever it chooses to do, it does, I guess. But this thing can be major. It has potential to be major. So did Gonzalo. But think Gonzalo, I didn't really think that would be that as bad as I think this one could be. Gonzalo had a low chance of developing for a while. It developed here. And then was moving quite slow in a bad direction. This one has potential. So let's take a look at our... Oh gosh. Oh my. I think this is like some kind of virus or something. I'm not going to install this, but just get off the screen. I'm not installing this. Alright. No. Don't install. Don't install. Oh my, I'm not pushing that. I'm going to delete that right after I end this video. This is a scam. Not a scam. This is a major problem. And I know my flash is up to date, because I actually checked that a few days ago. It's up to date. I'll check it again after this video, but that is not how it's supposed to be updated. So I'm not going to install this. Is there any way to get out of here? Alright, it's not going to let me do that, so I'm just going to refresh this thing. Refresh the page. I'm not doing anything it says, though. You know what? I'm just going to reload the entire thing. It's not going to work. I'm not going to attempt. Alright, so I'm going to show you the spaghetti models for Invest 92L. Here is, sorry. Oh, Invest 92L doesn't have as much. But here's the intensity guidance. Oh. For Invest 92L, it could develop quite high. Again, this thing can definitely change, but I think it has crazy potential. It's most likely going to head up. Here is the global track. It's going to keep its way moving up this way over Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, West Indies. You can have major impacts from this. GFS model shows this really affecting the Northeast. If it does continue, it can really affect the Northeast. It doesn't actually show it weakening. I think it only shows a certain amount of time. But if this thing continues, it can make a direct hit for the eastern banks of North, South Carolina, Virginia, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, parts of Long Island, New York, even Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine. All this area, major risk with this storm. It shows it mostly coming over here. We'll have to watch this very closely, because this brings it dangerously close to some of these major cities, so we have to watch that. And here is our Canadian model. I don't really trust the Canadian model, but I have to show it because sometimes it can be right. You can use whatever model you like, but personally, I prefer the global to the GFS. I'm not sure what this is. It's not it. But this can definitely be major. If you guys live in the Northeast, the Southeast, anywhere, you should definitely watch this, a lot. Because this can be major. And I mean major. Here's our only... As you can see, it's mostly going to get over Cat 1. The question is, will it get up here? We'll have to see. Let's get our 06Z. It gets not much high. This is the most accurate 12. But this shows a whole bunch of miles. It's most likely going to get at least a Cat 1. And if not, it will get to at least tropical storm. And I think this could be major again. We have to watch this closely. And I believe that could be a real problem. And, oh, how does it know I'm Alright. Also, guys, why do you think this is happening? I think this is some kind of virus or something. I'm definitely not installing this. It says warning up here. And this Windows 7 thing, this silo box, does not look like it's from my computer. It looks like it's from like an old Windows 7 thing. And this computer never had Windows 7. It's a Windows 10 laptop, and yeah. I'm not gonna... And that thing doesn't work, so I'm not gonna use this page. I'm gonna check to see if my Flash player is actually up to date. But I checked a few days ago, and it was, so I believe it probably still is. Something similar has been happening on that same page, and I might have to contact the people who made that website to say that something very strange is going on if my Flash is actually up to date. But thank you all for watching this video, and yeah, we have to watch all three of these things closely. I'm not too worried about Gonzalo, but Hannah and Invest 92L, we have to watch very closely. And I hope everybody stays safe in Texas. And I hope everybody in the South, the East, the Bahamas, the West Indies, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Puerto Rico, all these areas, I hope you all stay safe in the next week or two, because this storm could be major. And thank you all for watching. I'll have my next update tomorrow. And yeah, see you all guys later, and have a great day.